Three, two, one. Let's have some fun. Hello and welcome to episode 182 of the Game-ous Podcast, the bi-weekly video game podcast where we sip delicious bevs and discuss video games. I'm your host, Tony Dan, and I'm joined by Emmy Chris.
That's me.
And Allison Oscar.
Oh, and the Oscar went to me? Okay, great. Thank you so much.
The Oscar goes to Allison.
I would like to thank the Academy, and this one's for the little girls who dream. This is me holding the Oscar. I know it's not, but
it's a little pingu.
We were so close to an EGOT.
We don't have a Golden Globe. we got to work on it.
We need someone to be our Golden Globe.
I know. We should have been in like Emilia Vero. What was there's the one that won all of the Golden Globes this year. I don't know who was there. Anyway, on this episode of the Game-ous Podcast, we asked the question, what do we think about celebrity gamers? Are they just like us?
Did you not look at that?
I didn't look at that. I love it when that happens. It's like the SNL skit where it's the guy who goes like this. What's his face? It's New York's hottest club is. But first, it's time for some bevs. Chris, what are we beving this week?
I'm beving this wet January because we're having a wet January.
Get wet.
Get wet.
I just love this so much. I can't wait to hear about it.
Yeah, so it's a pretty hazy, which makes sense. It's a pretty hazy beer. It's a hazy dipper.
Ooh, dipper.
A dipper.
A double dipper.
Yep. It is sweeter than I would like it to be. But overall, it's pretty good. It's it's a little sweet for my
Is it?
taste.
Did you say
it's made by Black Flag Brewing? So Black Flag is a local brewery, and they tend to make like pretty good beers. A lot of them tend to be like just a hair off of what I would like them to be, but generally they're pretty solid.
Okay, I think I've
and this kind of falls in that vein. It's it's a pretty typical hazy dipper.
It's a hazy. So would you say? So you said it's sweeter. Does it fall in, even though it's a dipper? Is it like more of a like New England like dipper, or is it just
or a big dipper, little dipper?
Yeah, no, it's definitely more of like a New England.
Okay.
Probably it's more of a nor'easter if you. No.
I get it. No, I get it. That's funny. That's a funny joke, Chris. It's a funny joke, and you should feel good about it.
I don't.
Okay.
But yeah, it's.
I'm sorry. I'm posting. We're live. It's my fault.
It's not the most chuggable because of how sweet it is.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because of how sweet it is versus how double it is, which is interesting.
It's not really too double for me. It is 8.1% though. So.
Oh boy.
It's pretty potent.
Yikes. Yeah, potent potables for 500.
Yeah,
I'll take.
Black Flag. They have a cool tasting room nearby.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Very cool. So not super chuggable. That's great.
No.
Wet January, baby.
Yeah, baby. I was gonna. When I was thinking about what I was gonna say before I drank it earlier, I was thinking about it and was thinking about how I was probably gonna say something about how a lot of these kind of just taste all the same at this point, and I'm like wondering if like they come out with new names for the same beer, but this is definitely a different one.
Yeah, nice. So it is different. You disproved your own hypothesis, as any good scientist would.
Yes. And now I have to go back to the drawing board.
Oh, Allison changed her background. Now it's more like Sailor Moon-esque, which is good.
Yeah. Sorry, I noticed it was my D&D.
It was your D&D
character.
background. I was going to say something, and then you changed it, so now I can't.
Just immediately noticed.
Speaking of Sailor Moon, there's a Sailor Moon musical.
I saw that. I really want to see it.
No, guys, I'm so excited. I would love to see it. You have no idea. I have watched this musical because it hasn't it's
is it
international.
on YouTube? It's on
YouTube.
Nice.
Yeah, I've watched videos before. It is so chef's kiss. Like, it is so campy and beautiful and great and just fun, and I would love to see it.
I mean,
Anyway,
it's touring.
Yeah, it's starting in Pittsburgh. I think they're doing a Philly and New York.
Allison, you could
one.
do it.
We
Come
can
up
go to Philly.
You come up to Philly. You could.
that
I'm
is
surprised
tempting.
they're
I'll
not
have to
doing
look
that
into
DC
it.
one.
Hopefully, it's not in April or something.
Uh,
Or maybe it's right before, and I just make a big trip out of it.
It's April 22nd.
Oh God, that's the week before.
I know.
That's not gonna work. I can't come twice.
Just come up
But
and
I
stay.
could.
You stay the whole
Oh,
time.
okay.
You
Sure.
stay the whole time.
I
Mhm.
could.
Oh my God, they're the one called Sailor Moon. I'm Dan. I'm drinking whiskey.
What kind of whiskey?
So I'm drinking it's a rye whiskey.
Ooh.
This is called Sazerac Rye.
Uh-huh.
45% alcohol by volume, 90 proof. Yeah, this is this is distilled in it's in the Buffalo Trace distillery.
Oh, cool. Nice.
So it's by them. Really, it's really good. I don't know if you know, like, rye whiskey versus a regular whiskey.
Well, one's made with rye.
That is true. That is true.
That's also true.
So, American rye whiskey, it's distilled from at least 51% rye grain. Canadian whiskey is also called rye whiskey but that's just like because it's from Canada. It's different. It's weird. That's a weird thing, like, historically.
Yeah, there's a whole thing about, like, I think Canadian whiskey's weird about it. Japanese whiskey's weird about it because
Yeah.
Japanese whiskey's actually more like Scotch. Yeah, so that's a whole thing.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's good. It's a good drinking whiskey, or a drinking rye. It's a little bit, because it's rye, it's a little bit spicier than like a bourbon whiskey would be, or like an American whiskey would be. Usually, those would be a little bit sweeter.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're a little bit more sweeter. They have sort of like a chocolate, like a chocolatey sort of coffee-y flavor to them. Rye whiskey is a little bit bitier. It gives it a little bit more like woody flavor. Is kind of what I always think about whenever I drink it. But it's good. It's nice.
Every time I drink whiskey, I'm reminded I don't like whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all.
And that's
like
fine.
but there's so many different ones, and you're reminding me of that it's like maybe I just haven't found the one I like. I don't know.
No, you don't. You probably don't like whiskey. I mean, that's like Hannah every time.
know.
I'm like, smell this, and she's like, ooh, that smells good, and then she drinks it and she goes, bleh, bleh, bleh.
That's
And
me with coffee. Yeah. I'm like, oh, that smells so good though. And then I taste it. I'm like, oh yeah, I hate it. Never mind.
Wait, you hate coffee?
Yeah.
But coffee is delicious.
I don't love coffee either.
I know you don't. No, what's wrong?
I hate it.
You both. I'm in the worst. This is the
worst
podcasters.
I'll have it on occasion with like we got like an espresso machine, and I'll occasionally have that.
Got it.
But
Got
yeah,
it.
I'm glad though. I do like whiskey now, which is nice.
Whiskey.
Gray said Japanese whiskey's real smooth.
It is.
So
You probably
that maybe is one I could try.
I don't know. You might still hate
it.
It will taste.
If you don't
the
like
same...
Scotch, you won't like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like trying different things, even when I hate it.
You can try it. Don't get like a whole big thing though. Go.
Yeah,
find
no.
somebody...
I got with the teenies or like usually airplanes.
Wait, isn't
maybe I'll get some for Magfest and bring it.
Yeah, isn't Fee a whiskey person? No. Okay, never mind. I was gonna say it's like someone over there had to be a whiskey person, but yeah, coffee drinkers unite. What up? Coffee's best.
Yeah, I can only drink a mocha because that doesn't count because you add enough chocolate that you can't taste it anymore.
That's upsetting to me that you said that. So I'm just gonna move on. This whiskey is I wouldn't chug it. It's not the high. It's 90 proof, so it's not crazy. So, but it's yummy. I'm gonna drink a bunch of it. Because I have to get married in April, so I'm not drinking as much beer. Because it's like the Parks and Rec. Whenever whenever Chris Pratt was filming Guardians of the Galaxy, and in between seasons, he lost a bunch of weight, and they're like going up the steps, and he's just like, "So you just cut out drinking beer," because he's like in really good shape, and they're just like, "Wait, so you just stopped drinking beer?" And he was like, "Yep, that's what I did." He's like, "How much beer were you drinking?" But that's part of the like, I'm gonna do that. I did lose 5 pounds throwing up for 2 days, so
Nice. That's a really great way. That's
No.
a great and healthy way
No.
to do that.
No.
don't do it. Don't do it. Also, yeah, I got norovirus. That we didn't podcast last week because I didn't tell anyone that I wasn't going to be here because I got norovirus, so I was asleep and throwing up for like 2.5 days. It was great.
Yum.
And we just thought he hated us. So
I mean, unrelated.
kidding.
Like it's yes, but also it didn't have
I
anything
do
to do
hate
with
you,
it. I
but-
do hate you,
okay.
but-
Well, I'm glad that we just got through
Different.
that. Can I uncome to the wedding? Is there a way to retort everything I've done?
Listen, I've tried for years. There's no way to uncome. But anyway, Allison, what are you speaking of which, Allison, what are you drinking? I'm sorry.
I don't know how to even say anything after that.
Where do we go from here? No.
I'm drinking my favorite thing,
Water.
Baja Blast?
Baja Blast.
Is it just regular Baja Blast or is it the hard Baja Blast?
No, it's so I can't find the spiked Baja Blast anywhere
Really?
in my area.
All right.
It's like very sad. I heard I could go to West Virginia and get it, but
I have it up here. So whenever if you're in Pennsylvania, I'll have some for you.
Thank you.
You're
That's
welcome.
what I've heard. People from other states, they'll like when we were doing D&D, someone was drinking it. I'm like, oh, where'd you get it? Like forgetting that they weren't in Virginia. Anyway, but yeah, so I found a case of Baja Blast. It's out of season, guys. I don't know how I got my hands on one, but I'm very excited. So I decided to
found a dealer.
I found a dealer. It was just a Walmart. And so we have Baja Blast with 2 shots of tequila and lime juice.
Okay. Added a little extra lime in there.
Patron, shout out to Agility. I don't think he's watching at this moment, but shout out to Agility for the Christmas gift. I have Patron.
That's nice. Patron. I got some mezcal. How do you feel about mezcal? Do you like mezcal?
I like it when I'm in the mood for it. Like I don't just drink it all the time.
Yeah.
But I like mezcal. I've gotten it at restaurants.
Yeah.
And kind of when I'm eating something that it goes with, I really like it, you know?
Yeah, it's toasty. It's a toasty.
Yeah.
Toasty tequila.
This is great. This is wonderful. I knew it would be.
It's the scotch of tequilas.
Because
yeah.
Baja's very tropical.
Yes, it is.
And the lime juice adds to it, and then the tequila punches it. So this is something like what Fee made me the other day, and it was really good, but I didn't make it myself, so I thought I was going to mess it up. But even Allison's can make a good drink out of tequila and Baja. So you guys
add tequila to anything. You got it.
Not always. This is
Sometimes.
very refreshing. This is like a 586 glass of Baja out of 10 drinkability for me.
Oh my God.
I would chug this and be very in a very bad place.
500% increase.
Yeah.
No, it's not. 50%.
It's over 9,000.
It's
So
over
what
9,000.
So what I'm saying is I will not be bringing this to MagFest because this is too dangerous.
Do it. No, do it.
Well, just bring the Patron and then bring some Baja Blast, and then you can mix it however you want, you know?
No, Allison's don't drink tequila in the wild. For some reason it makes me really weird. So I'm not going to do that.
So what you're saying is you're going to get weird tonight.
So let's get weird. You guys.
But it'll be when we close, so it'll be okay.
let's get wacky. Let's get weird. Let's get wild. But nice, very good. That's what we're drinking. Folks.
That is what we're drinking. We did that part. Now we can move on to the
Now
next
we can
part.
go to the next part, and the next part is what we're playing. As I said, I was throwing up for a really long time. I didn't really play a lot of video
That's a
games.
fun game. You were playing the sleep game.
I was playing the sleep game. Also Balatro. Just a shit ton. I love Balatro so much. Hannah's playing Balatro too. My entire family's playing Balatro because me and Brad were like, Balatro's really fun. And then my dad got it, and because we all have like this connected phone plan, he's like, "Hey, I bought Balatro on my phone, so now technically everybody can play it on their phone if they want." So Hannah's playing it on her phone. I'm playing it on like 3 different devices because I have it on my computer, I have it on my Switch, and I have it on my phone and my iPad. 4 different devices. Excuse me. So too bad there's no crossplay because it's like some of them like I don't have the Jokers I have on my Switch version. But it's really good. And if you haven't played Balatro, it's a roguelike poker
You should go play it
hand
now.
making game. It's fun. You will play it and then you'll start playing it and then it'll be 4 in the morning and you'll be like, "Whoops. How did I do that?" It's really good. Maybe play it on my streaming channel sometime if you want to check it out. But it's a lot of fun. I like that. Yeah. That's about it. And I'm making my way through The Witcher 3 again.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, and also on I downloaded because it's free this month with PlayStation Plus. The Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. It's pretty okay. Like
it's pretty all right.
No, I mean like it was like one of those things where I picked it up and I was expecting it to be like bad, and it's not bad. It's just different. Like it's very much like it feels more like it feels more like a Destiny-esque sort of thing got like meshed with the Batman universe. I mean, I think the Suicide Squad / like Justice League jokes and things are really funny. Like I think some of the stuff is really stupid and funny in the way that it is. Technically it takes place after Arkham Knight, so it's like a whole like thing because it is still in that Arkham universe. It's just in Metropolis instead of Gotham. But it's like, I don't know, it's pretty good. It's just a shooter. It's a third-person shooter, but with the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
So far,
what's not to like, you know?
It's all right. I don't have any problems with it. It's pretty fun. It's just like
it's just one of those like simple fun games, you know? I don't think everything has to be a classic game. You know, like a epic adventure you're going to tell your children about.
I think when
sometimes it could just be fun.
Yeah, I think when it came out, everybody was just like, "Oh, it's not Arkham. Like it's not the It's like Rocksteady, but it's like it's not Batman Arkham." And it was like, yeah, it's not. It's definitely not.
Well, that one that was also weird about like a lot of microtransactions too.
Yeah, they're like microtransactions and like there are like battle passes and stuff. But that was before everything had a battle pass because now like everything has a battle pass, so it's just normal, you know. Right. So now it just feels normal. I think it's like it's kind of like it's like caught up. The world caught up to where it is or it was. So now it just feels normal. So, but so far it's kind of interesting. You get to like you can like choose different outfits and stuff. That's pretty interesting. I like it.
That's fun.
So, but that's it. That's what I'm playing. What about you guys? What's up? What are you doing?
I've kind of gotten back on the Hearts of Iron 4 train.
Perfect.
Yeah, doing some achievements. So the most recent one I got was called Snakes on a Plane.
Nice.
So that's as Brazil capture Rome with paratroopers.
That's funny.
Which Brazil had like this, like, I think Brazil historically had like a bunch of, volunteers that like had this patch that had a snake on it, with like that was like smoking. So that's why it's Snakes on a Plane. But so yeah, I've been doing that. And also I got I'll Make a Man Out of You, which is as one of the Chinese warlords, have 1 million people being trained at once.
Oh, that's funny. So it's like a training montage. It's the
Yeah.
Make a Man Out of You montage. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Man, that has like the most. That is like. There's just a guy. There's a guy in a room, who's just like, you know, it would be a funny achievement. This one.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and they're like they think of like, oh, what's like. So there's one that I got called Swiss cheese. As Switzerland annex 5 states that are not contiguous with each other or Switzerland, so they just have to be like 5 random things,
just so like holes in cheese.
Yeah,
I love it. Yeah. That's great. That's so fun. That's so fun.
Yeah, so pretty silly. Oh, somehow he has returned. It has like the the Palpatine
Yep.
hood.
Yep.
But as Argentina have Senior Hitler become the country leader.
Senior.
Do you remember how fun it was when you just accidentally got those out of
Yeah.
something weird happening because you had no idea that these achievements existed, and you couldn't really achievement hunt unless you really dug into like forums and things.
Yeah.
Like I love that now, even when I'm playing a game like Marvel Rivals, there'll be just like these random different things that I'm doing, and it's just like, oh, that's an achievement, how fun. But I don't know until after the match. I wish it would tell me like in the moment in the game, like, you just did this really cool thing. But
yeah, no, and that's kind of what I like about this, is that like I'm able to like pinpoint exactly what I'm trying to do. So like it so like I know the thing I have to do, it's just I have to do it, and it's sometimes hard. So I've been struggling with one of them recently. That is I basically have to get Germany to capitulate before Italy as Brazil, and I'm really struggling while being on while having Great Britain in my my alliance. So I've just been difficult because Italy tends to fold pretty fast.
Italy, come on, get it together.
Get your shit together, Italy. God. Fudge.
Yep. So that's what I've been doing.
But I did.
Or just kind of gearing up for MagFest.
Fest.
Mag swag. So we have MagFest coming up on this week on Wednesday. I'm pretty excited. We were able to get another suite, and we didn't find out about it until last week. So that
we were stressed.
Definitively had it. Yeah. So like we had like a backup Airbnb that I had to cancel last week. That like I had already gotten charged for. So
yeah, and we were gonna have to travel across the bridge to get there. Like it was gonna be a whole thing, and now it's snowing and it's gonna be freaking frigid. I'm so glad we're in the hotel. Beyond glad.
And we don't even have our outdoor area like we have had the past 2 years, which I'm kind of happy for, I think.
Yeah, like we're not going to use it with how cold it is, really.
Yeah, even with like the outdoor heater thing. But yeah, the thing I'm most excited for, and actually I don't know if I've shared this with you, Allison, but our D&D group is going to be meeting on Friday. They're all like, everyone's coming. So me and Bob are both in it. Bob is in our D&D group and also in our MagFest room, but then the 3 other guys aren't. So they're going to be coming to the hotel, and we're going to be playing in the room. And they've never been to MagFest, so it's going to be
amazing.
That'll be fun.
Oh, I'm excited. That'll be great. Yeah, no, I'm excited that we actually have, so this this location, the convention center, it has balconies in the atrium, so you get to see like the middle of the con where like people have food and take pictures, and there'll be music playing out in that area, and we get a balcony view of all that. And this is the first time I've gotten to experience that, so that'll be really cool. That's my exciting thing for the year.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's your exciting thing for the year?
There's nothing else exciting? MagFest, like the new exciting thing. That's what I mean, the new exciting thing. But also, I'm not going to talk about games I've been playing because I've been working on figuring out my cosplays. So I kind of bailed on one that wasn't going to work out in time and have opted for something that's going to be a little different. So I went from one League of Legends character. I was going to do Sona.
Nice.
And I was going to do her Star Guardian skin. And we just ended up having some issues with our 3D printer and printing larger items, because this is the first time we've printed anything other than D&D figurines, which have gone great. But the large items, they're a whole new beast for us. And so I've pivoted, and now I'm going to be Annie, because Carrie had actually made me a Tibbers a long time ago that I love.
Nice.
So I have a little Tibbers bear. So now I'm just going to throw together an Annie outfit. I'm literally, my desk here is covered in like patterning material I was working on, which is actually wrapping paper. By the way, guys, great patterning material is to use your leftover Christmas wrapping paper. Fun tip from Allison, who's done this for too long. So yeah, I'm working on just getting that together here in the last couple of days because I'm insane. And we're going to do a group cosplay of Pokemon trainers. So I'm also working on Sabrina, because I had a Sabrina that I did a long time ago, but I didn't like it. It wasn't done right. So I want to do it correctly this time. So I'm working on that as well. So that's all I'm doing right now.
Very cool. Chris, you could, whenever she dresses up as Annie, you could just put on a big bear suit and follow her around, and you could be Mr. Tibbers.
Actually, that'll be Fee.
Oh, Fee's doing that. Never mind.
Awesome.
Don't do that, Chris. Fee's doing it.
Yeah.
Why would you even suggest such a thing? That's crazy.
Oh.
Well, I would love it. I can have 2 Tibbers. I don't think there's a law that says I can't.
Pretty sure there is.
Nope.
I don't
Allison
think there's any perks. If you
makes up the rules, and
if you were doing Sona, would you have like a whole like thing in front of you, like the whole like DJ table thing?
Yeah, that's my goal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's my goal. Well, no, because there are just a lot of pieces to the 2 parts we were doing with that whole thing. I had already given up on that piece because I knew I couldn't finish in time. But it was other stuff that ended up falling apart too much. So it's okay. Next time. Now I'll have time to work on it, and I'll have it together for next year, and it'll be my really big, fun cosplay that I'll get to do. And yeah, I've been working on this one for a long time. I've just never had the means to finish it, and now I do, which is great. So yeah, we'll get there.
I can't wait until after Hannah and I are married, and then we can come to.
And you can mag again.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
In 2026, the year of paying off all of the debt from our wedding.
I can't wait either. I want you back at Madness.
She's tired of me. And...
yeah, like Chris is wonderful. Let me be clear.
Ugh.
But
trust me, it's wonderful if you insist. Do. Wicked. I haven't seen the movie. We did see the play. Nice. Very cool. Very cool. I like it. What are you excited for the most aside from, like, is there a thing you're excited for at MagFest this year? Like stuff that's going on there?
To be honest, like the bands, like I've gotten like I know less and less of them each year, I feel like.
Yeah, I'm feeling that way.
Which, like, I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing. It might just mean like there's a lot of people entering the space, or it could mean that, I don't know.
I think it's a lot of people entering the space to stamp on that. And I did see where they said they were going to give people opportunities, like people who maybe have come every year and vendored or played, like maybe they wouldn't do it this year just so they had more opportunities for others to keep it rotating and fresh. And I like to that point, like I appreciate that because maybe I'll find somebody new here.
But yeah, I mean, so Power Glove and Bit Brigade are both there though, and they're both very good.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So looking forward to them. Alex is actually doing sound for two of the groups. One of them's like a big band.
He's doing like 3 or 4, isn't he? He's
doing so it's like
a new group and.
Yeah, so the big band's from Chicago, and I was actually talking to our buddy Wayne earlier today, and he went to the Schulke factory when he was in Chicago because he plays trumpet. And he was talking to one of the guys there, and apparently that guy is in this big band, which is just kind of
wow, what a small world,
right? Like, and yeah, like Wayne was telling me about that today, and I was like, oh yeah, that's one of the groups that Alex is doing sound for.
Is it the Blue Shift Big Band? Is that who it is?
It is, yeah.
Nice from Chicago.
I'll make sure to update as much as I can about fun happenings while we're there, and we're not doing a podcast there. We did that one year. That was
we
really
did that
fun.
once, and that
we
was
did that
fun, yeah.
the first time we were all there. I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then and we did it with Triforce.
Yeah, and we'll really have to wait until Dan shows up again because we all have to be
Dan, it's
there.
your fault that we haven't done it.
Jeez, Dan.
As is tradition. If I'm not there, it can't happen.
That's right.
100%.
What's the point,
Yeah.
What's the point? Who brings the comedy? No one.
Not me. I'm not funny at all.
I literally.
Fun fact. I had a psychologist tell me that when I said That's something I thought was cool about myself, or like that I liked about myself.
That I was like, I think I'm pretty funny, and they were like, "You're not funny at all. I don't know what you're talking."
That's literally what happened. And
That is
that was the last,
awful.
That was the last time I talked to that guy.
I was gonna say that's a terrible psychiatrist.
Yeah.
Wow.
Fuck that guy.
That's
Anyways,
that's like laying there and just being like, yeah, I mean, I'm just really down about. I think like I'm really self conscious about my looks, and they're like, okay, is that because you're so ugly? Because I can see that because you're so
fat,
ugly.
Right?
That's just like, oh my God.
See, here's the thing, like, Dan, if you're not here, the pressure of being the host is too much for me. I need like days of preparation.
Oh my God.
Because I am insane.
Listen,
and that's the only way I can put it.
Here's the thing. I really think it's you just need to be like a DM for a few years, and then you'll realize that you'll do what I do, which is not think about it until the last minute and then do it, and then you'll be like, I'm just good at flying by the seat of my pants. I've got a set of wings on here, so I can.
No, I have too much anxiety. I need a lot of preparation. Grace said, doctor's note, patient is delusional about comedy. I liked that. I had to share it.
Yep. Who's your favorite comedian? Oh, is that Matt Rife guy? Patient is delusional about comedy.
That's a different kind of note.
Whatever, he's pretty fucking funny. I don't care.
He was funny. I don't know if I don't know. He's kind of lost it with me, but there are some.
He's no Stabby.
Definitely not. But hey, guess what, guys? This is a video game, and wait.
Yeah, we've spent 40 minutes.
Speaking of,
let's get to the topic, I guess.
I was going to say, speaking of celebrities, Allison would like to shit on. Go ahead, Dan.
Allison, I know that's your kink, but I really don't feel comfortable talking
stop.
about it.
No, you know what I
mean. No, but there's so there's like celebrities and stuff, and they play video games, right? They're just like us. They're just like us. So we figured we'd talk about some of the ones that play video games, or that we know of play video games, or have talked about playing video games. Because it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to be like, this is my problem with it. So we're going to talk about celebrities and video games. Here's my problem with it is because I don't know when a celebrity being like, I was like, oh yeah, I love video games, is them being like, do they love video games? Or are they just trying to connect with me?
And that's it.
Yeah.
And that's truly what it is for me. It's like, is this honestly them? And I personally feel like my bullshit meter is pretty good with that.
Yeah.
When I'm watching them, I can tell if this is something they truly enjoy and want to share and just like vibe with people, or if it's something where it's like, I got nothing else going on right now. Let's see if we can get that bag. And I don't actually really do this, or I want the clout, or I want the, like right now, streaming's hot and I want to be a part of it. You know, whatever their reason is, or I just need validation. Whatever their reason is on that checklist, like if it's not genuine, then I feel like that's the problem.
Yeah.
And then if
that's a big problem. I'm just like trying to do it just to, yeah.
But also remember, if it's genuine, then you got to ride that pony.
I love that song.
Look, we're all of the era where we all love that song.
We all love that song. If you are on this podcast,
that song should probably be in the what is that, the
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
The National Archive.
Oh, the National Archive. We should shoot it into space for aliens to listen.
Ooh, yes. that would be the one that like, oh man, maybe Earth's pretty cool.
They have this song about riding a pony. I don't know what a pony is, but I don't think that's what it's about.
It's a pop.
It sounds like a euphemism.
I would like to take a pause here, and everyone who is listening to our podcast, if you did not understand that joke, you're too young. Maybe go ahead and watch something else, because
no, don't listen to her. Do you keep watching and listening to what we're doing? Get more downloads. Stop screwing up the download. Damn it. Chris, go.
But to your point, like it's pretty easy to spot like when it's not like genuine. That's how we got on that. But like I think one person in particular that like definitely feels like they are completely genuine about it is the king of nerds, Henry Cavill.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And what I really appreciate, especially with him, is like when it came out that like he plays video games. Not only that, like he plays Warhammer.
Yeah.
And like loves Warhammer Total War, which are things that I also love.
It's like,
I don't know if you know this.
Me
about
too.
Yeah.
What?
Well,
holy shit! That's the first time you've ever talked about it, Chris.
I know, right?
Heard about that before.
And to the point that he's like working on making a Warhammer show with Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it makes this person that is very attractive and very successful.
Screw that.
It just makes it feel more okay and like more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
Especially with like Warhammer, like it's not something that like I talk about with a lot of people like at work, because I don't know if I want to share with everyone that I play with tiny little plastic guys and play a little game with them, and I paint them and spend a lot of money on it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But like the fact that he does that too, it kind of makes it a little more okay.
Yeah, I think it also helps whenever I've seen so many interviews with him. I think like he's been on like Graham Norton or something like that, where he's just like, oh yeah, I play this game where it's like called, and it's like I play Warhammer. It's just and another person who's there is like, wait, you play Warhammer? You play 40K? It's like, oh, I'm an Astartes.
That's the guy that played Dandelion or Jess Kier, I think, said that on the.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah, it was either that or I think it was him. Yeah,
but it's always just like whenever it's like, oh yeah, I'll talk about that stuff, and then also whenever and I think the thing that like endeared him to me the most was during the pandemic when he was building his PC and he put his cooler on upside down and he had to take it off and do it again, and I was like, I've done that.
He's just like us.
He's just like us.
Except way more attractive.
Except his muscles are huge. Yeah. God, he just had a kid too. Congratulations, my man. Him and his partner had a child recently.
Yeah, it's hard when it's like, I don't know. It's I've learned, I guess, to not have heroes. Or not put people on a pedestal, but Henry Cavill is just like
he can be there.
He can be there. I think he can be there. And like if he disappoints me, I'm done. But
I think we would have found out if he was disappointing, because like
I hope so.
They tried to shit on him when he left
The Witcher series.
Right.
Like, where they like kind of insinuate, like they were like said something about how it's not about like there's no like scandal here or something like that, kind of, which made it imply that there might have been. Or that people were thinking that just to kind of like tank his career or whatever afterwards. And it's like, he's untankable. He's untankable.
And I love that. And I hope it stays. But yeah, he's really like the gold standard example of someone who just genuinely enjoys this. It is a part of their life. And they also happen to be a person who has a very famous celebrity status, right? And I think he's the exact example of it being okay. I don't want to say okay,
but like you know what I mean though. Like when I say
yeah, it being like something that feels genuine and something that genuine. I don't.
You have to say
no, because I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about this. And like that's an instance where it's like this is just a part of someone's actual personality, and that's awesome.
Yeah,
and that's a 10 out of 10 for me. Exactly what it should be. Love the things you love and express them and share them with everyone.
Yeah. I think Robin Williams was kind of the same way. I mean, he was very passionate about Legend of Zelda.
Obviously,
his daughter is named Zelda.
Right.
Also a Warhammer 40K fan, by the way.
Nice.
I didn't know that.
That sounds about right to me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. That makes sense now.
But same birthday. Robin Williams and I, same birthday.
Are you really?
I mean, not like
that's a good
I'm still only 35, but like later. His happened first. Mine happened.
You started to make me question if I didn't know your age. So yeah, thank you for.
I have the same birthday as Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Nice.
And Lindsey Vonn.
Nice.
I don't know whose birthday I share.
Look it up on the internet. That's why we have computers. Also, Gray says it would be really heartbreaking to find something out. As long as he doesn't play Minecraft, I think we're safe. Listen, I don't like to yuck anybody's yum. You can play Minecraft. I like Minecraft. So eat a bag of ducks. That's it.
Shit, guys. That's it.
There's 2 other ones.
Hold on. Henry Cavill and I share a birthday. That's
Shut
it. Go
up.
on.
That's amazing.
We do.
That's amazing.
Okay, go on.
I've got Howard Shore.
Which one of you is more? Wait,
and also
Allison.
Lee Harvey Oswald.
Allison, who's more jacked? You or Henry Cavill? Make a muscle. Show us one.
I think Henry Cavill,
good.
Just like by
pretty good.
By like a centimeter or so.
Okay.
It's a pretty close contention.
So what 40K armor are you starting then?
I mean, that's something that apparently I needed to just kind of delve into because now I've learned we are the same.
Yeah.
We are one.
You will have to teach me which one.
We'll have to talk, yeah. But yeah, a couple of the quick good ones, I guess.
The good ones.
People we appreciate who have expressed.
Randy Orton, the wrestler, loves Elden Ring. He was like doing an interview with Cody Rhodes recently and was talking about how much he loves Elden Ring.
That's amazing.
Which I love because like he's totally not someone who I would expect to like Elden Ring.
He's just like, I freaking love Elden Ring, dude. I love it.
That's what he was like. But yeah, so that was fun.
I mean, it's gorgeous. Hashtag prettiest game. Prettiest environments. Pretty good. I always like like Felicia Day. I mean but that's like they're like people whose like whole like there are celebrities that I like. This is where I feel like I disconnect from it because like sometimes whenever it's like a regular celebrity, like a famous movie person or something like that, I'm like, I don't care about you, but like I like whenever it's like Rahul Kohli, plays video games and like does Warhammer stuff, and he's really cool.
Like even just some of the dropout folks, like
I like
if he's doing Warhammer, and like Becca Scott went to a Magic the Gathering convention.
Yeah. Oh, have you seen that Iffy's on 20-sided? He's in 20-sided Tavern right now in Broadway.
I did.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
When I was in New York last, Erica Ishii was.
Oh, that's awesome. Also Jack Zwipper is in it right now.
Yeah,
also.
I saw that. That was really cool. Felicia Day is like one of my role models. I don't know how else to say it. Like still to this day, she is
I love her.
Someone I aspire to be, and she's always like been that person for me. And I watch her streams all the time. Like all the time. And she streams
she streams
regularly. Considering her schedule and stuff, but I really just enjoy it. She's literally just so chill and down to earth, which I think is the coolest part of it all, even though she's attained what she has. And a lot of it is like you expect that when you think of her because of like her just writing the things she did, like her YouTube history that she's built for herself around WoW and writing, her own little world around a WoW guild and things like that. So like I expect it from her, but like she's really also a gold standard for me and someone who just loves it and is sharing the things she loves and is really chill about everything and acts like a normal streamer, if you will, not a celebrity streamer.
And I think that might be part of it is like it's the people that I appreciate. Oh, I almost appreciate it more if they're unexpected.
Yeah. Which Jerry Trainer, if he said Jerry Trainer is a wowhead, by the way, I just wanted to call that out. That I didn't know that, but now that he said that, it makes complete sense to me.
That makes
sense.
And
everybody doesn't know who Jerry Trainer is, but you do when you look him up, I bet.
He's the older brother on iCarly, the funny guy. who protected those kids from so much stuff.
Yes,
from
real good guy.
What's his face? Dan Schneider, yeah. Oh my god.
And there's like the Joe Manganiello and Matthew Lillard.
Oh yes, of course.
Those guys. What's her name that was in Daredevil? She was also in True Blood.
Oh.
She's also plays D&D.
Yes, they do like D&D stuff.
She's DM'd before.
Yeah.
Oh, the redhead. What's her name?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Dang. Yeah, I can't think of her name, but I know exactly who you mean.
Deborah Ann Wall.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Deborah Ann Wall. Yeah, I think she DM'd like she taught John Bernthal. Actually, I watched a video
That's awesome.
of like John Bernthal was on her podcast, and he was just like John Bernthal being like, "Yeah, I've never played any D like fucking D or any of that stuff."
Super into it,
and then she's like, "Oh well, it's just like this," and she like did like a very simple like, "Here's where it is," and he was just like, "Yo, I fucking love this. This is fun as hell." I was like, "Yeah, you just make choices, baby." Hey.
Another random one for me, Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg can do no wrong. I'm going to start there for me.
Well, you say that.
You say that.
I know. I know.
He's doing the inauguration tomorrow. Yeah. Anyways.
I think he did. He performed at the party that was tonight.
Oh, that's sad. Okay, well, break my heart. But he, as far as like him streaming, I just remember, I never watched it, but I just remember the thing that went around. He like rage quit in Madden.
Yeah.
Like classic Madden players, right? He rage quit, but thought he turned off his stream and didn't. And so it was just filming an empty chair for 8 hours.
And him just being super mad.
And him gone. He was just not there. He
just left and forgot to turn off his stream.
Yeah, he thought he turned off his stream and he didn't, but he doesn't really know how to stream very well. So, and he would like have his mic off and not know it for a really long time and stuff.
I was
like,
going to say,
didn't know what he's doing.
I remember seeing a thing where
set it up for him and he just like,
yeah.
I remember seeing a thing one time where he was like streaming without like sound for like an hour and a half and like not looking at what happened. So
yeah, and so like for me, it's like that doesn't bother me because he just doesn't know how to stream. Like he was really just genuinely playing the game, whatever. Okay, so he's not a good streamer, but he does actually enjoy the game, and that was fine. And then I just remembered like the empty chair for 8 hours, like it gained so much of a following to watch. Because like it was just like that cult moment of like, why is this happening? And everybody started watching it. It was like the most viewed at a point. So that was something I wanted to mention with someone. Doja Cat, she actually streamed, but she didn't have like her face cam on.
Alexandra.
AFC.
Yeah, AFC.
Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez.
Yes, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
She streamed, I think,
Among Us.
Yeah, she did Among Us like 2022-ish.
Yeah,
and that was like I think it seemed like she had played before, which was good, but then
it was kind of. Yeah. It was that one was one I wanted to talk about after we talked about our favorites because like. For me, she didn't pretend she knew what she was doing. She didn't pretend she was like this amazing gamer. She just kind of got on Twitch and was like, hey, I think this is a cool platform where I can talk to people. And also, I was just shown how to do this. Let's play.
Yeah, we'll play Among Us and we'll talk about policy and stuff like that.
So I thought that was a cool outreach.
Real politicians do.
Yeah, but I don't think she was trying to pass herself off as a person who plays video games, which was okay to me. That's okay.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm okay with that as long as you're not pretending to be something you're not, or like
number 12 in the world.
Yeah. Yes, we'll get to that. So Soulja Boy, he did it. I just wanted to mention. Soulja Boy does a lot of weird things. Kiki Palmer, she actually streamed, but not many people knew she was streaming because she did not advertise herself. She just like kind of did it without her camera on, and then it was like this really private thing for people to join while she was pregnant. It was something that was really nice for her to do to kind of kill time. So I thought that was fun and really neat. And she was just playing Sims because she plays Sims.
Nice.
That's one of those games where there's a lot of, it's kind of like there's a lot of like Warhammer people. It's like the same thing where there's people who play the Sims who's just like religiously, and you would have never known. It's just like, oh, you've played 400 hours of The Sims. That's crazy.
That's me. I don't know. People probably figured that out about me, but that's me. Yeah, really. What? Post Malone, of course. Like he's always labeled himself as that.
I was never a huge Post Malone like music guy, but like I appreciate him because you can tell the passion's real with him.
Yeah, he's also a bro.
He bought the One Ring.
Because he just thought it was really cool.
The One Ring Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, the Magic card. The one
unique.
Yeah, and
which was cool.
didn't even wait for it to get graded. Didn't even do any of that stuff. He was just like, "Yo, can I buy that from you? I think it's really cool."
Yeah,
he's a cool dude. He's a nice.
Yeah, and like he plays guitar, and he like, I don't know.
Yeah,
like, he there's a lot more to him than just like the rapper Post Malone.
Yeah,
right. And he was like really genuinely good at Apex, by the way, and he would stream it.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, he
now
got
he's got 2 kids, I think. So I don't think.
He probably isn't anymore. Like he was diamond rank in
oh
Apex.
My God.
But yeah, I'm sure he's not anymore. But that was when T-Pain. I love T-Pain. I love T-Pain.
Who doesn't love T-Pain? We're millennials. We love T-Pain.
Stream. I know. Watch a T-Pain stream if you have not. Follow him on Twitch. I cannot tell you what a ride it is. And he is so entertaining just as a person. And I'm sure people have figured that out if they know who T-Pain is. But that is one of the more enjoyable experiences. He really does interact with the chat, and he's just goofy in himself. They're really fun to watch. And he's genuinely really into all of this. He'll also stream like music stuff, which is cool, obviously. But yeah, T-Pain's one. And then the last one I wanted to mention was Madison Beer, which meant nothing to me, but I wanted to say it because I found it while I was doing a lot of research. Does anyone know who Madison Beer is? We're too old.
No, we know who Madison Beer is. You know who Madison Beer is, too.
I do, but like I only know her from KDA and League of Legends because she did.
That's where you should know her from.
Yes,
I mean, and that's basically it. She's I
got nothing.
No, I mean she's like a model / EDM artist, singer songwriter, kind of stuff. But but she was in KDA. I don't know if KDA is still going to continue or not, but like it was pretty cool whenever it was.
Yeah, it kind of just like reinvents with new people is what I'm seeing. But KDA is amazing. Yeah, she did Evelyn in KDA, and I adore all the songs. But yeah, those are the ones that I had on a list, and now we can go into the others.
Yeah, this piece of shit poser that we hate.
And this is the reason we kind of wanted to talk about this was because
the news came out. So apparently, like Elon Musk was saying, like, oh, I'm so good at Path of Exile 2. I'm like ranked and like I'm like one of the best players of it. And like apparently he paid somebody to go on to his account and like speed run it for him or something like that.
Do you want me to backstory it a little bit?
Do the most stuff, because I know there's like stuff about him passing up good loot and like doing all this other crap.
Okay. So sorry if I get some of this wrong. I raged about this internally when I learned about it, and then watched a bunch of stuff to see what he streamed exactly. And now it's been a few days and my brain isn't great. So I saw that Elon, got on and said, I am an amazing Path of Exile streamer. I was top, I don't remember what he said. I think he said he was in top 100 of Diablo. And he's like, so obviously I'm also amazing at Path of Exile. And, he was just kind of like talking himself up. He eventually said like he was number 12 or whatever. And then he backed it up to prove it by logging on to stream. And it was like super clear watching it that it seemed like somebody had set this account up for him, to the point that even there was a tab in his inventory called Elon's Maps, or maps that are really easy for him to run on stream. But okay, let's just call it quirky. Elon's quirky. He just named his title, the title Elon's Maps because he's Elon. Sure. But then you watch him play the game, and I have played now for a few hours. And if you've ever played an ARPG, there's some things you just know, right? And if you're number 12 in this game, you are playing constantly.
Yeah.
Constantly. And you're min-maxing.
Time to run 3 companies.
Right. Yeah, you really don't. So let's pretend he actually was doing that, right? Let's give him benefit of the doubt here. And he was actually doing it. Watching him play, he would click and drag, and I'm going to say this to anyone who's played an ARPG, Diablo, anything. He would click and drag an item into his bag. Have you ever done that? Like opened up your inventory, grabbed an item, and dragged it into your bag?
No, you just click on it with
auto loot. Just get everything. Doesn't matter.
You just click on it. You just walk over it. There's so many things you can do.
Yeah.
There's so many things you can do, but you do not click and drag, especially if you're number 12 and you've been running this like crazy, right? You would lose your mind. He also like passed up on loot that people who've played 30 hours haven't seen. That's really important to the game. It dropped and he just walked away from it and picked up other things because the color looked better, it seemed. So he picked it up. He started trash talking the items he had when he was showing people when they asked. And he was like, yeah, my weapon's only level 68 and I'm 95. I need to replace it, but it seems to be doing the job okay for now. When that item is literally the best item in the game. And in this game, like level doesn't matter. It's not World of Warcraft.
Right.
Like when you hit certain tiers, you don't level up your items. It's all about the RNG that's dropping on those items, the abilities, the stats.
Classic.
And he just like seemed to have no concept of that. He was just kind of trash talking all his items, being like, "Oh, this is level 44. Clearly, I need to replace that." And like he just didn't understand basic concepts of the game. It took him forever to even open a map that would function for him to play with. Which, if he'd been doing this, like, it wouldn't have been so hard. There were so many things that said, you don't run this account. Somebody is doing it for you and you're just showing it off. And that would be fine to me if a celebrity did that. If they were like, I got people who are doing this for me, but I'm on here and I'm going to just play it right now. Okay, like own it at least. Like, don't pretend you are...
It's like stolen valor.
It's
really
stolen
is.
valor in video games. Yes.
But, I mean, and that's
not, and I don't want to actually compare it to stolen valor because that's
right.
That is very much worse.
Yeah, so much.
No.
So
it's like we're using it as an allegory.
Like
is that what I want to say? An allegory. Yeah.
It's like when everyone figured out that Milli Vanilli wasn't singing their own music on SNL.
Yeah,
it's like,
and like or Ashley Simpson, like, and that's fine, but don't pretend like you are.
But it's like, but we've kind of come to realize that this is the person that. Here's the thing about Elon Musk is he sucks and he's the worst ever. Because we've realized over the years, like I remember there was a time, like he was in Iron Man 2.
Yep.
He was in Iron Man 2. He was in The Big Bang Theory because he was like kind of on the forefront of like leading these companies that were like new technology kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then we
just shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
and been fine.
But instead he kept talking and we realized, oh, he's not smart. This person is just a rich asshole who bought a bunch of people who knows what they're doing. So, hey, anytime anything happens with SpaceX, Elon Musk has nothing to do with it. There's a lot of much more talented scientists who are actually making the innovations. Elon Musk is just a piece of shit who is a piece of shit. So,
like, he could have been our Iron Man, right? In ways, right?
The fact that we have there's 12 billionaires in the United States and not one single Batman is the most upsetting thing to me in the entire world. If I had $1 billion, I would immediately be Batman. I would immediately be Batman.
He wouldn't be Batman. He'd be Iron Man because he needs everybody to know it would be him.
No, I wouldn't be Batman. I wouldn't be Batman.
Like Pip said, he's truly a fame whore. And it was like he needed the validation of the gaming community that he was the best. And he like needed people to tell him that. Like that's what he needs. He needs that validation for some reason. And I think it just proves that like money doesn't buy away your insecurities. No. And his insecurities are wild. And we all have to deal with them. And that's the sad part of it all. Yeah. But like it was crazy to watch. And then he had tantrums, and then he took his anger out on one particular person, Asmongold, because he's one of the more popular people who brought this to everyone's attentions. Yeah. And he took away the blue check mark from Asmongold on Twitter and, told him like he wasn't even good at gaming and all this stuff. But he hasn't like confirmed nor denied that anything is true or false is the thing. Like just say, yeah, okay, whatever. Like
just own up to it. Just like
even pretend you were trolling. Isn't that like what you would love to do with this?
Or don't even Here's my thing. Here's my thing about this whole thing, like this whole conversation that we've been talking about, because I put this question in my notes because I very much like, this is an honest question for me and kind of where we're at in the world, where it's just like, who gives a fuck? Like, it's like, hey, if you're not good at Path of Exile 2, who cares, man?
Yeah.
Just be bad at Path of Exile 2. Why lie about it? Why make up a whole fancy thing whenever you could just not even engage with it in the first place?
That's because
it's called narcissism.
Yeah, that's because you're a healthy
my brain works that way.
Who maybe has sought therapy once in their life. Well, right, but that's because you're working on things, and he doesn't want to work on things. He just wants validation and confirmation of what he already believes is true. He doesn't want to be his ego is so big that there's not room for anything else in his world except him and his opinions. And that's why he's where he is, right? He found people who said yes to him rather than the people who were saying, no, that's not okay. And you should think differently. Here's some reasons and valid points and stats. And like, he doesn't want any of that. He just wants people to tell him yes. And that's what I think, thought he was going to get with this, are people going, oh, yes, Elon, that's so great.
How good you are.
Blah, 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 blah. We love you. Like, that's what he wanted. Right. You're number 12. Oh, my God.
Charlie, and like, come to Candy Mountain, Charlie.
That's not, like, he can't snow us in that way as people who have played a video game a day in our life. I don't know. It's just very weird. It was, I just think he's looking for more attention, and he thought he found it here, and now he's found the attention he doesn't want, so he's going to ignore it. And it's very odd. And this is like the extreme version, but like any celebrity,
weirdos.
Yeah, any celebrity who does this bothers me. And it's like, it's difficult for me because like I would need to know somebody for sure doesn't understand this whole world and like doesn't truly believe they're a part of it before I would say something like this. Like, I am 100% sure he has not put in more than a few hours in Path of Exile. I'm going to say that.
I swear he's never touched it. Like, he doesn't know what it is.
I think he probably touched it before he did that because he wanted to like not look like a fool, but then he did anyway because he doesn't know how the game truly works after the beginning few minutes. Like, I think he's probably touched it, but I don't think he, and maybe once upon a time he did play games, but he doesn't anymore. And he doesn't, for some reason, he just like can't admit that. And that's what I have a problem with, is people who are really fake in general, like in anything. But it's difficult for me because my whole life I've gotten, you don't really like blank, prove it. And so it's hard for me to have this opinion, except that I'm 100% sure. I can't have this opinion if I'm not sure. And just like, please be yourself. Don't fake it. If you're a celebrity, whoever you are is good enough. I don't know. It's just, it's so weird. We are in a weird timeline, and that's why we're having this conversation. And
I mean, you see, I've got my goatee. We're obviously in the darkest timeline. I'm Negadan. I do want to point out a few things in the chat here, and then I'm going to throw it to Chris. First thing is mostly Batman stuff. Gray says, well, Batman is also the smartest man in the world. Disagree. He's the world's greatest detective. Doesn't mean he's smart. He just means that he's more he's better at solving mysteries. But also, if you read any Batman comics, you know he's really not that good of a detective. Everybody in the DC universe is just an idiot. And then Ty Chicken says, gotta have dead parents to be Batman. Money plus dead parents equals Batman. Pip says, an egotistical person cares. We said that. Gray said that would be an awkward conversation with the parents after becoming a billionaire. Yes, it would. Sorry, Mom and Dad, it's canon. Pip says. I just think that's funny. It's like, I became a billionaire. I want to be Batman. Gotta kill my parents. Sorry. All right. Would never do that. Love mama
Sorry,
and papa
Bat Dad.
rods.
We do. It's canon here. We all do.
But yeah. And
then, she also said he's jelly of AOC on Twitch, which I think is a good point. And I think that is what it is. It was like he saw celebrities getting like clout and that feedback, and I think he wanted it. But the difference is like AOC didn't pretend she was a gamer.
But
she wasn't the number 12 Among Us player in the world.
But Chris, so we're gonna start to kind of close it up here a little bit because we're getting into the 9 o'clocks. Oh, sorry. Fee just said Clark Kent equals Superman with glasses is my favorite. I just watched Mystery Men again for
love that movie.
Movie's so good. Like notoriously a terrible movie, notoriously awful,
but like
production.
I still love it.
But
also,
we
Dane
love
Cook's
it. Dane Cook's in it as the waffler.
He's the waffler, golden crispy. Bad guys are history.
But there's a whole running joke in that where it's like it's the same thing where Greg Kinnear is Captain Amazing, and it's like he's just himself, but like as his alter ego, he just puts on glasses, and they say the argument over and over again. It's like yeah, that's because he is Captain Amazing. They're like, oh, this again. Listen, he wears glasses. Captain Amazing doesn't. They can't be the same person. It's just the best. It's like the stupidest guy. It's like he takes them off when he transforms. Do you know how stupid you sound saying that? Right? It's so good.
I love that movie.
It's such a good movie. It really is great. But so Chris, so what is like celebrities who play games? Like what would be the thing that would endear you the most? Like with them. Like,
yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of what we touched on already in like the idea that when you can tell that like it's someone that actually really cares about it and really enjoys it, and like they're not just doing it for clout, like it's and which is like should be the bare minimum, right? Like
right.
That's the reason you do it.
You're having fun.
If you're but and it's also like people that it's kind of a surprise too, because as I mentioned, like with like Henry Cavill or like some of these other guys, like it doesn't surprise me that like Jack Black or Robin Williams play video games, but it does surprise me that someone like Henry Cavill or like Vin Diesel.
I think whenever like Brie Larson, whenever she's just like, oh, I love playing Animal Crossing, I'm like,
yeah, that's awesome.
I'm like, that's a little surprising, but also I can understand that.
But but if someone was like, yeah, I play Animal Crossing, you're not like, I don't believe you.
Yeah.
Like, that's not the game that you're like trying to get clout with.
Yeah.
There's nothing cloutful about Animal Crossing.
That's a game you're playing by yourself all the time.
That's not.
There's no ranking unless you're like, I have the best island in the world. You can't compete with mine.
Which like probably, but yeah, it's like so like I don't know. I like that a lot. And like you can tell it's not just them trying to like endorse something. I think that's what I'd like to see.
Allison, what about you?
Yeah, for me, it's pretty much what Chris said. It's just like if somebody is genuinely into anything as a celebrity.
Genuinely.
Or any person, actually.
Or any person. I mean, specifically, this podcast episode is about celebrities. So if there's a celebrity and they would like to share their experience doing X and do it on a stream or anything like that, or just, Warhammer or a literal video game or playing music on a recorder, or I don't know, just like random stuff, whatever it is. Whatever it is, if they want to share that experience and like go on a stream and interact with people and, just share the love they have of that thing, awesome. If it's got an agenda, if it has like not ill intent, if it has
it's nefarious for nefarious purposes.
Nefarious purposes. Yeah. If it's just to boast or like boost their self-esteem, I get the ick. I'm not into it.
Purely. I apologize. I'm using this as a definition. Purely masturbatory. It is only to make yourself like feel good about yourself.
Build your ego, whatever it is. And if it's not real, especially if this is a whole facade you're putting out just to do it, then why? To Dan's point, why? Waste your time doing anything else. Like this doesn't make sense.
Do something different. Stop trying to do things you don't like. People
just because you think other people like it.
Yeah, here's my hot take. Here's my last hot take before we end the podcast. Is don't do things you don't like to make other people think you like them. That is stupid. That's like the plot of every 80s movie where like it ends up being like, oh, I should have just followed my truth. I should have just
been myself.
I should have been myself the whole time.
And said she would like me.
And then she would have been me. 80s music playing in the background. You know? Nick Cage is there, you know? Valley Girl. Anybody? Watch Valley Girl. Great movie. The original one from the 80s. So good. Nick Cage is
After you watch Mystery Men.
Watch Mystery Men. Go watch Valley Girl. But it's like
this is your homework. Thank you all.
Wait. Had Hannah seen Mystery Men before?
Oh no, I didn't watch it with Hannah. I watched it by myself. This was not a I'm showing Hannah this movie.
Do you have it or is it on something?
It's on Prime Video. Like everything's on Prime Video. So usually if it's a shitty
watching that tomorrow.
Usually if it's a shitty movie, it's on Prime Video. If it's anything else, it's like
Tubi.
Or Tubi or not Tubi. That is the question. But yeah, so in general, like if a person, and this is for all of you out there, listeners, gentle listener, who doth listen to our podcast verily, and these sounds doth rain upon thy ears like
our sonorous sounds,
doth fall upon thy ears like gentle rain on a spring morning. If you are in a situation where you're seeing somebody doing something and they're like, they are obviously not enjoying themselves doing this. Stop watching and supporting that person. If they hate what they're doing, then it's not worth doing.
I mean, it's true, and hate watching contributes to view count and gives them an idea that it's positive. So
just don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. And that's it. That's all I have to say about that. All right. Well, that's the end of our podcast. We're going to end it there.
We did it.
If you have your own ideas about like celebrities that maybe we should go like figure out what their gaming situation is, or if they're streamers and we like to watch their streams, that kind of stuff, go to our Discord, bit.ly/discobrew, DISCOBREW, and tell us what they are. You can also tell us about your personal streams if you want to do that. If you're doing that, you can go in there and tell us. You can tell us what you're playing. You can show us some pictures of some of your coolest achievements, maybe some videos.
I promise we'd rather watch you than these celebrities who are faking it.
I'd rather watch.
You're probably more interesting.
That
100%.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, that's bit.ly/discobrew. If you want to find out what our shit's about, you can go to if this is somehow the very first podcast of ours you've listened to for some reason.
If you Googled I hate Elon Musk podcast and you landed here.
So that means I have to, in the tags whenever I post this podcast super late, as I usually do, I'm gonna put like I hate Elon Musk as the tag on it, so that whenever people search it, it comes up.
Welcome. And
I mean, we
sorry?
do. It's not wrong, but it's also not, the highest aggregator of clicks. But the I mean, actually, it might be a higher aggregator of clicks
at this point.
But yeah, so yeah, tell your friends, tell your mom's friends to listen to the Game Brew podcast.
We love moms.
We do.
I think we prefer dads though. No, we love moms.
We love moms. It's canon.
We love.
We all like MILFs.
You gonna click it?
I did. Oh, shut up! Hold on, I gotta do it again.
We all like MILFs.
Hell yeah! So I'm like a really bad person.
Yeah, you are, Chris. And I can't believe.
Yep.
It sounds so good. On my end, it sounds like it just happened, so it's the best thing.
It is. It's a really good clip because it sounds like it's happening.
Yeah.
I'm
I have to
spicy
check.
and served hot.
Yeah.
No, that one doesn't sound like it just
sounds
happened.
just like it
But
happened.
I literally have to check Chris's mouth when you play that clip because I'm like, what are you saying?
But yeah, so that's so listen to the Game Brew podcast on your favorite podcasting medium. You can follow our Instagram, go on Facebook, do all that kind of stuff. We mainly post in the Discord and our podcast feed. So check out all that stuff. Allison, do you have anything to plug?
Feel free to follow me for MagFesty stuff. And I will be posting things around hopefully our channels too, but on my Instagram, the TheVinalia. I know I'll be posting there because I can't get into our Game Brew Instagram right now. That's a whole other thing because I don't know why, but we'll fix that. But I'm also streaming. I did my first stream last week, so if you want to follow me, feel free. I'm not going to do it one this week because I was doing cosplay, and then next week I have MagFest, but I will be doing one the following to kind of talk about MagFest. I'm sure we'll talk about it here too, but I'll go into more detail on that stream because I know I'm winded and we won't have time, and there's so much to do. So feel free to follow me, and that's twitch.tv/VINALIA.
Finale. Chris, do you have anything to plug?
Go to MagFest next year.
Go to MagFest next year.
It's sold out this year, but go next year.
Yeah, go.
Everyone, please go.
It's sold out this year?
Dan will be there.
Oh yeah, it's
Holy
sold out.
shit, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, Dan will be there next year.
Dan will be there next year. We'll be doing a podcast from MagFest next year.
Yeah.
We've already committed. Dan, thanks.
I have to ask Righteous. Let's see if he can record us. I'm gonna plug spay and neuter your pets, everybody. R.I.P. Bob. And also I do stream on Thursdays most of the time. We have successfully mostly Call of Duty, but we did manage to convince my brother-in-law to play Marvel Rivals with us. Ooh. He still doesn't necessarily understand exactly, because it's like being a Call of Duty person going into a hero, like a team hero shooter, is a different experience. So he's enjoying it. He's enjoying it, and he's having a good time. But it's
I'm still learning a lot of it because I haven't played a ton of it, but I'm enjoying it. But I mean, I've also played a little bit of Overwatch, so that helps.
So we understand how it goes, even though it's very different. Well, I don't want to get into it again. But regardless, twitch.tv/tubecraze, TUBECRAZED. You can follow me on Blue Sky at Tubadan at Tubadan on Blue Sky if you want to. That's about it for me. Of course, if you have any questions, post them in our Discord. If you want to get into the, if you want to be on the podcast, let us know. We'll always accept a fourth host. It will make the square on the Twitch like 4 faces instead of 3.
That's really the
my OCD
I'm always really lonely down here. My elbows don't have anyone next to them.
I don't know why Allison's always on the bottom.
I don't know either.
Phrasing.
Are we still doing phrasing?
I mean, yeah.
What happened to phrasing? I thought we were still doing phrasing. All right, so we're going to end the podcast the way we always end the podcast, which is by saying good night,
everybody.
Everybody.